Hello, all you market traders and profit takers. Hope it was a good week for you. This is the Forex University Professor at yourforexuniversity.com, and I'm going to get into the week ending of November the 21st, 2014, and we're going to do a little reviewing and forecasting. Let's see what's the chart. We're looking at the Australian dollar against the US dollar weekly chart. And as you can see, right now we are still in that consolidated area, and it's been this way for the last 7, 8 weeks, it looks like. Ever since we saw this from the beginning, we've had a little dip, but we've got this rejection, as you can see, that took place over the last few weeks. It's holding inside of the consolidation. Let's take a quick look across the board and see who's the strongest and who's the weakest. Right now, we're looking, like I said, the Australian dollar weekly chart. All of these will be weekly. Now we're looking at the euro against the dollar. It's weaker, obviously. We're closing down at the end here. Over the last 7 weeks, we've made a move up, down, and we're still down. The pound is still down. Oh, there's something interesting here in the pound that we're looking at. Some of you probably know about it already. And here's the Kiwi. It seems to be the strongest of the pairs against the dollar. Let's go back to the Aussie real quick. Okay, now back to the Kiwi. Oops. There we go. Yeah, it's closing a little higher. And we also have a close above a very steep running line, and it also breached it. However, we've got this, it's not a piercing candle because the body didn't make its way back to halfway through here. So we won't say that's piercing at all. Can't call it off any type of falling or shooting star because we don't have enough tail on the top. But we'll consider it. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let's look at the Canadian dollar, dollar against the CAD. We've got that rejection in there. A little bit going on here with resistance, a possible exhaustion. We're closed below the, excuse me, closed below this channel here of our moving average channels against the close and the pivots. That's the first time that we've done that since the week of, what was this here? That is back in August. Okay, since this moved to the upside. And we'll see how that works out. We're sitting on a GAN level right here at 112.22. The dollar against the franc, well, it's a little stronger against the franc, as you can see. We're moving back up as opposed to the Canadian dollar. We're falling down. And the Japanese yen is the strongest of the three pairs that we have, where our base pair is on the dollar, as you can see. Back to the pound. Let's go back to the pound. We're looking here at a level where things have stopped. This bottom portion here is not getting any further. We've got a small range. It's a spinning top. It's not a, now we did close lower than we opened. However, we're still looking at this. It's not quite in harami position because it's not up inside here, but this is a support area. We're also right in the 618 over this weekly chart for a long term, going back to last year, around the summer of last year. It's taken a while, but it's pretty much rejected the 318 and the 50. Took some pause there at those levels, at the 318 here. We had a little push back from the 50, a little hesitation again here, the 50, and now on the 618. We have not fallen bearish enough to call it a crash through the 618, but we also have some other things that are supporting. For starters, you've got a trend line. It's long term. Let me zoom out so we can see more of what's been going on. You see this here, this long move across here. It's a very low angle. It's not the best of all angles, but it's there nevertheless. And if we were to look at where we are with this blue horizontal line going across, you'll see where at points we're at a point of previous resistance here and previous support, previous resistance in this area, previous resistance here. Let's go a little further. We've got it at a point of support back here in 2003. A couple of times it was very strong support. Here we've hesitated and meandered around this area for quite a while, as well as the other lines that are here of support we had. So we're in an area now where things look like they may hold the price. Here it is again, back in 2000. I think you get my drift. Resistance, resistance, this area here, support. Okay, so let's go back to where we are on the pound to the present. So we have some legitimate reasons to believe that this could hold up as support. Somewhere between where we're at now, where it's holding up down as low as the 154 area. Let's zoom back in so we can see better what we're looking at. Now, simultaneously, if you look at the opposing pair, which would be the dollar against the Canadian dollar, we're looking at potential move to the downside on that, which is the opposing of what the pound. You notice that generally as the pound is dropping, the Canadian dollar is rising. So if the Canadian dollar is rolling over and reaching this rejection area of resistance here and it's exhausting in its run to the upside, we might see the pound take a move to the upside as well, breaking over this, using this area of the 618, using the area of this support line here where we've touched twice this week and pushed back on it a little bit. We haven't broken it. We haven't closed below it. We just kind of touch it and push back up. We might see the pound make a move back to the upside, at least to the point of where we have this value area right here where we had the gap up last year. Okay, right in there. And that puts us somewhere in the vicinity of 158.8. 158.84. So that's from where we're at right now. That's roughly what, a couple of hundred pips. Okay, that would be a first point of resistance, possibly hitting this trend line. All I'm saying is that we're looking at a good potential for a move back or for correction of this long short. All right. And again, this might roll over, especially if we break this low. We might end up closing below this trend line. We'll just have to wait and see. But those are some things that it looks like that's the condition that we're setting up for. So we'll see. Others here, such as the Australian dollar. We're looking at the weekly. One thing I want to look at is this as well. With this in mind about the pound and the Canadian dollar, at that point, we could see some things moving as well simultaneously with the Australian dollar and the Kiwi, especially the Kiwi, seeing as it's a stronger move right now with the close above the trend line and breaking that high. But we did put a timeline, Fibonacci timeline against the Australian dollar just to see. And this week coming up is at one of those points of possible change of environment where we might see some changes take place in the direction or the sentiment with the Australian dollar. We're also getting ready to go into the holiday seasons. Okay, so we might see some things changing here. And we did the same thing over here with the Japanese yen, which is the strongest of them all. We might see correction coming up around maybe mid-December or sooner. It doesn't necessarily say that it has to be that way. I'm just going based on the analysis that I've used. We may correct now. We might wait till mid-December. We might not happen until next year. Eventually, there is going to have to be some form of correction. It's just the way the market moves. It's never going to move in a straight line all for infinity, right? And we'll work that out. At the moment, we're long, right? So let's deal with it as it is. And when the time comes, we'll make our changes that we need to make. And here again with the franc, it's got some strength still. It's starting to push back after touching some support. And uh, there is also a following video after this. We promised that we would begin dealing with the actual trades that went by this week. We're going to do that this week. This will be the first time that we do that. We're going to open up that door for you and let you peek in and see what we're doing and how we're using quick view on these charts. And that's going to be interesting. I'm anxious to get to it. So right now, with the analysis that we've just made, let's do that. We're going to take a look and see how things went. This does it for the weekly forecast and review. We're going to do some continued review by looking at the trades now. So there you have it, market traders and profit takers. This was a review and forecast for the week ending of November the 21st, 2014. I am your Forex University professor here at yourforexuniversity.com.